This guy's garage. Like and subscribe.
I see that there's quorum. So I must inform the members that the clerk of the committee can only receive motions for the election of the chair. The clerk cannot receive other types of motions, cannot entertain points of order, nor participate in debate. So we can now proceed to the election of the chair. Pursuant to Standing Order 106.2, the chair must be a member of the official opposition. So now I'm ready to receive motions for the chair. Ms. Roberts?
Yes, I nominate Shelby Cram-Newman. Nyman. God.
Perfect. So it has been moved by Mrs. Roberts that Mrs. Cramp-Nyman be elected chair of the committee. Are there any further motions? All right. Seeing as there are no further motions, I'll put the first motion to the question. It has been moved by Ms. Roberts that Ms. Cramp-Nyman be elected as chair of the committee. Is it the pleasure of the committee to adopt the motion?
Yes.
Just a recorded division.
Yeah. A recorded division. Okay. So it has been requested that we move to a vote, a recorded vote. So I will proceed to the vote. So, Madame Lambropoulos?
I abstain.
Mr. Moff?
I abstain.
Ms. Sidhu?
Abstain.
Ms. Heffner?
Abstain.
Ms. Vandenveld?
I abstain.
Ms. Ferreri?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Oh, yeah.
Madame Vien?
Oui.
Ms. Cramp-Nyman?
Oui.
Madame Larouche?
Je m'abstiens.
Ms. Gazan?
Abstain.
4 yeas, no nays. I declare the motion carried. So, Ms. Cramp-Nyman, I declare you duly elected chair of the committee. I invite you to take the chair.
Okay, the committee will resume our meeting in the study of the implementation of the red dress. MP Roberts, you have 6 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And before I start, I just want to make it clear that people should not be making assumptions. And Karen was a great leader, but we welcome you. Shelby, I don't want you to take this from anyone here at our team because we have worked very collaboratively together. And I think making assumptions is the wrong way to go. So I just want to set that clear for the record. Welcome, and thank you for being part of the team. And we also want to congratulate Karen. She did do a great job.
I'd like to put forward a motion that the committee thank MP Vecchio for her years of service as chair of this committee. I'd like to table motion. Pardon? And release the witnesses.
At this point, thank you very much for being here. There is a motion on the table. Is the committee in agreement to adopt it? Well, technically, it hasn't been in advance of 48 hours, so is it the will of committee?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
At this point, we're going to suspend for a few minutes and figure out what the next step is. So, as you know, according to routine motions, generally need 48 hours, interpreted as 2 nights for any substantive motion to be moved in committee. It's not a contentious motion. The motion has been put on notice, and can we ask for unanimous consent from the committee to move the motion?
In favor.
Can I just add something to it? We've all spoken on it, and I'm not sure where we're going with this motion, Leah. Could you maybe, I'm not sure what we're Everybody has thanked Karen. We all miss her. We all thanked her. What is the purpose of the motion, if she could just explain it?
Do we have unanimous consent? Like, I'm sorry, I'm just asking procedurally.
Start a list if we have speakers to it. Leah?
Yeah. So I wanted to move this motion because, like other members, I was very troubled by the decision by the Conservative Party to remove Karen Vecchio. And I share this not because of the Conservative Party, although I have much to share about the Conservative Party, as you know. I share this because there is a culture in this House of Commons that demoralizes and excludes the voices of particularly strong women. Karen Vecchio, I've had the privilege to get to know. Before I go on, I want to be really clear to the new chair. I think you're lovely. I welcome the new chair to the committee. I want you to feel safe. And I don't want what I have to say make you feel unsafe. That's very important to me. I mean that. I really mean that. But I'm putting this motion forward because I think women need to stand up for women in this place. Karen took the time to get to know me as a friend, but particularly really listened to some of the issues that are very marginalized in this House. And I would say particularly issues surrounding Indigenous women. Prior to being elected in 2019, Indigenous women were pretty much off the radar after the national inquiry. And if it hadn't been for me pushing along with the NDP, along with powerful women across party lines, as we have seen with the red dress study, we would still be dying in the streets without the level of passion that I have seen around this committee table. Inclusion and exclusion is intentional. I am really troubled that a voice of a woman who is highly respected by women across the country has been taken off the committee. A woman who was able to work across party lines so that this place, this committee, could be one of the only safe places for women in the House. This doesn't feel safe to me anymore. This doesn't feel safe to me that if parties see strong women in committees that threaten a political agenda, that we can be silenced. That's how the right to choose gets threatened. That's how the rights of trans women get threatened. This is the only place we have to lift up our voices to protect each other. And I've gotten to know people around this table, and I consider you colleagues and friends. I am so touched by the red dress study, and I'm so touched with the work that Karen did, working with the chair to make sure that we heard what we needed to hear to advance this quickly. We are literally dying in this country. That's how critical this committee is. And I don't feel as alone in the House of Commons because I've worked with every single woman in this room across party lines who have my back. So I'm going to have Karen's back this time. I'm going to stand up for Karen Vecchio. I'm going to stand up for Karen Vecchio and give the middle finger to partisan politics and political posturing, including by the Conservative Party right now, who gave the middle finger, as far as I'm concerned, to a functioning committee who's fighting for our rights. Shelby, you are lovely. Again, I don't think you're going to do a bad job. I think you're going to be fantastic. I think you're fair. You are a diplomat. You're lovely. I want to be very clear that what I'm saying is no reflection of your competence or you not being welcome. which is why I'm saying I hope what I'm saying doesn't make you feel unsafe, because you know what, Shelby, I will have your back. If you do things that step out of the line, like fighting for reproductive rights or trans women, I'm going to have your back. I'm going to have your back because I know that our voices in this House are really minimized. And I'm going to fight for this. You know, there's hills you got to die on. And for me, this is a hill. This is probably one of the only places I feel safe in this place. What I've called a misogynic, racist, colonial shithole. Especially as a minority woman, as 10 Indigenous people in this place, in a seat that I was never supposed to be in. And I feel like my safety has been violated by another colonial violent act, misogynistic, by the Conservative Party against Karen Vecchio. I was wondering, where's Karen the other day? I don't know what happened. I don't know what led to this. But, like, she's a colleague. She's also a sister. Like, we're sisters in this circle. And I have gone almost every meeting. I leave here and I feel hopeful. Like, so hopeful that maybe some of the reasons that I came here, maybe some of the people that want me to fight for issues, maybe it can happen because I see what we do around this table. And they have violated that trust. A place that is known to be unsafe for women, a place where women in politics get harassed every day in the House of Commons, a place where we have said things in confidence and upheld each other's confidence. I don't know what that's going to be like now. Now, I have a wonderful relationship with every Conservative member on this committee, including you, Shelby. All the Liberal members, I have good relationships. Adjourned, LaRoche, I have a wonderful relationship. You know why? Because when I come into this committee room, it's my place to stand up for us as women, not just for women's rights, but putting studies out that people feel proud of. Like, I was so proud of this committee under the leadership of Karen Vecchio that we put forward a study on the connection between resource extraction and increased violence of Indigenous women and girls. Something that maybe some of the men might have found really controversial, but we made it really clear that this wasn't about resource extraction. This was about whether you agreed with resource extraction or not, that they need to stop raping women in Indigenous communities and companies need to be held accountable. We stood up for women. We stood up for women instead of big oil companies and big resource extraction money that are making money off the backs of Indigenous women. We stood up for that. And maybe that's controversial for some of the parties in this House. I would say the Conservative Party certainly. And I'm talking about the Conservative Party specifically because I'm really disgusted by what has transpired to my friend, my honorable colleague, Karen Vecchio. That's garbage. That's garbage that any time a woman is going to stand with her sisters in other violence on studies like oil extraction, that it's seen as rebellious and radical, like somehow the raping of women isn't rebellious and radical. Somehow we have to turn a blind eye because we don't want to, tick off big industry. This is concerning to me. And I don't know where this committee is going to go. Are we going to let toxic masculinity pollute this committee? I'm not talking to you, Shelby. I'm talking as, in general. Okay, I want to be really clear, Shelby, because part of me feels like it's not about you, Shelby. It's about the broader issues and systemic issues within the House of Commons. Like, anytime women join hands and say no to violence, are we going to be punished? We know some of the studies we've done have been pretty edgy in this committee. And, we have, even in the most, studies that People had different opinions. We came out the other way. So what does that say by throwing Karen Vecchio out? Who's going to be next? Are we going to have to listen mostly by men in leadership in the House of Commons? Otherwise, the girls are in big trouble in this misogynistic place. So, like, I'm sorry I'm taking up so much time, but like this is a bigger issue to me than just Karen. This is about, there used to be, and I hope that we have it again, like a cross-party women's committee where women supported women in this place. Like, I'm waiting for the day that a trans woman is in this place and we're not passing motions that threaten their safety, not just outside, but in the House of Commons by the Conservatives. A group of folks who Karen Vecchio, by the way, supported. And I worry that some of her progressive decisions impacted her safety to stay in the committee when she stood up for human rights. These are the most critical issues of our time. We see 12-year-olds in the States having to give birth because they can't access a safe trauma-informed abortion care. And these topics are scary in the House of Commons, even in this committee, because everybody's worried they're going to get in trouble. Not me, not my party. We're clearly pro-choice. So I've never done this before, but I'm going to stand up for Karen. Because if any of you get in trouble in this committee, I want to let you all know that I will have your back. I will fight hard. I am a huge defender of women's rights, and I will fight hard for all of you because you deserve that solidarity. I'm going to give that solidarity to Karen. She didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve what happened to her. She didn't deserve happened to her because of some of her progressive views, including having to deal with, as the chair...
Point of order, Madam Chair. Sorry to interrupt you, Leila, but I think... what? What did I say? You said Leila. Okay, so it's that time of the day. Sorry, Leah, but I think we should just go to the vote.
No, you can't. There's hands up. We can start next meeting, but there's hands up.
A running list right now, and it was a unanimous consent, so we can't go to a vote. We can choose to resume next meeting. There are a couple options on the table.
I'm open to resuming next meeting. I know. Okay. No, other people are on the speaking list. We can adjourn and then continue on. Or suspend, and then continue on next. I'm fine with that. Okay. Did you want to speak first before we adjourn?
On the list.
In that event, we will need a motion to suspend, and there'll need to be a vote on that motion.
Sorry, Chair. I'm not here next meeting, but I would like to speak, and I don't know where I am on the list.
You're about 6 down.
6 down. Okay.
Do you want to write it out and send it to me, and I'll read it on your behalf?
Yeah.
We need a motion. Should we wish to suspend? Motion to... We have a motion to suspend from Michelle Ferrari. We have a motion from Michelle Ferrari to suspend.
Est-ce qu'on peut demander le vote, Madame la Présidente?
Can we ask for the vote, Madam Chair?
I'm just going to take the microphone.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just going to vote on the motion to... Okay, sorry. Just on the motion to suspend. Okay. Everyone? Okay. All right. Okay.
Suspend the meeting.
Yeah, okay. Madame Lambropoulos?
Just pour être sûr, if we start again at the next meeting at the beginning, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes.
Mr. Moff? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Sidhu? Okay. Ms. Hepner?
Yes.
Ms. Vandenbelt?
Yes.
Ms. Ferrari?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Madame Bien?
Spend?
Yes.
Madame Larouche?
No.
Okay. Ms. Gazan?
Yes.
Okay.
What happens to the draft?
9 yeas. 9 yeas, 1 nay. I declare the motion carried. So, suspend.
So we're suspended. So
You can suspend.